Hi everyone, this is Hamsa Sandra, and I just wanted to introduce myself. I just started this channel. I have a website over at www.hamsa808.com, and that is actually my spiritual website. I am a light worker, I'm a star seed, and that's the best way I can describe myself. Some people have called me a bridge, because I kind of come into people's lives when they need me, and then I kind of go out of people's lives when they don't. I've been that way actually all my life. So I thought today I would just kind of give you a little bit of kind of how I do readings, since you guys don't really know me. So I'm going to pull out one of my decks. I have many, but they don't know which one is in here. I just kind of did a random pull. And I always keep my decks in a bag. And these ones I made out of just actually some squares, some fat quarter squares I bought years and years ago. So, this deck is very interesting. This is one of my visualization decks, and obviously we meant to pull this out for today. So, the way I read is kind of, I see things is the best way to explain it. So, things will kind of jump out to me, different colors, maybe different phrases, because I can see aura colors. Well, I wouldn't say they're aura colors. I would say more they're like chakra colors. So that's kind of how I view the world. The world has many different facets, and I'm constantly seeing a lot of the world. And a lot of times I have to shield myself because the world isn't always so pretty. So we'll go back to the cards. Sorry if I kind of go off on a tangent. Sometimes Spirit comes into me and it's like, no, you need to make this point. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll make this point. So, these are affirmation cards, if I remember correctly. I don't know where I bought these. I probably bought these in Texas. I used to live in Texas, and before that I lived in Germany for a while. And then I lived in Texas for about 4 years, and I just recently moved to Washington State, so that is where I'm currently located. So I'm going to shuffle these and just pull out a few of the cards. So you're getting it pretty raw. And I will let you know that a lot of my videos will be very, very raw. I don't put up a front. I'm just who I am, and that's just who I am. So what you see is what you get. Okay. So if you're asking what I'm doing right now, I'm putting my hands on top of the cards, and I'm basically asking Spirit, and I'm asking my ancients, and I'm asking my guides to let me pull something that right now, as you as the viewers need to hear. Maybe for some this may resonate. That's probably the reason why you clicked on this video, because you needed to hear the message today. That's kind of how I work, and for some others you just probably don't need to hear this. So hopefully this will resonate with you. I know it will resonate with a few of you, so that's what I'm asking Spirit to do right now. I'm pulling 3 cards. And then these are the cards. I don't know if you can see that. Oops, sorry, this one was upside down. I apologize. I don't know if my video likes to actually focus. I really don't record a lot of videos on my Nikon, so I apologize if it's not focusing. But I will tell you what they said. One was saying, I'm now discovering the most powerful affirmations for me. I make a contribution for just me being myself, and the more I receive, the more others are able to receive. And then on the other side they have like things, little depth things, and I'm going to kind of explain something. I'm not surprised I actually ended up pulling these cards randomly. Everybody's been kind of going through this karmic cleanse lately. I know even for myself, as a light worker, when I moved to Texas, about every 3 or 4 years I go through this rebirth cycle, and when I was in Texas, like a lot of just negative things were going on, and the community I was in was very, very negative, but I ended up finding a few positive people that, you know, I was able to communicate with, and that kind of helped on. And I do have a meditation space, so once I got that meditation space, things kind of like, you know, really kind of conjoined together is the best way I can explain it, or congealed, I think it was congealed together, because everything was just kind of like swirling out of control. And normally when your life is kind of doing that swirling out of control, you're kind of going through a karmic phase, and even us light workers go through it, everybody goes through it, it's just the way life is. And I think a lot of people get into this karmic swirl, or like the cesspool, and they don't know how to get themselves out of it, because we get so consumed by negative thoughts, and we kind of forget the positivity that's in life, and that is what is so important. And that's what I'm kind of try to convey today, and that with these cards is, these cards are all positive. And I also should explain something too. If you ever had a reading before and you're like, oh no, that sounded so negative, oh my god, blah blah blah, let me just explain something. Is everybody is a master of their own fate, so you are the master of your own destiny. Even if you've had card readings in the past, it's like, don't depend upon those card readings. If something came out where there was something negative, or you thought that was negative, you have a way of changing your fate. I will be very blunt and honest with everybody that I work with, as clients or as friends or anything. My job as a light worker, my job when I'm doing readings, is not to fix you. You are the only person in the world that can fix yourself. I mean, we are definitely a master of our own destiny, and I almost said destination, but that is true. I mean, you're trying to get to your own destination, and you have the power of doing it. You just got to figure out how to do it. Life is very much like a road. You know, you're going to hit detours, you're going to hit potholes, you're going to hit hills, you're going to hit accidents, you're going to hit things that are obstacles in your life, but you can definitely go past them all, if you just keep striving forward and keep positive. So that's why these cards came out. I guess that was the message I had to convey today, with this video. I really didn't know what I was going to do for my first actual speaking video, because I think I have like maybe a meditation mix that I had made on this channel. I actually don't know, or maybe it was on my other channel. Anyways, so I didn't know exactly what I was going to speak about, and that's kind of how I am. It's just like whatever comes to me is what we're speaking about today. So, back to the cards. I'm rambling off. Apologize. Okay, so we were talking about finding the right affirmation. And it goes to, what the card is saying is, I'm now discovering the most powerful affirmations for me. So you always have to choose affirmations that feel totally right for you. What works for one person may not work for another. I was just talking about that just a second ago. An affirmation should feel positive, expansive, freeing, and or supportive. If it doesn't, find another one and try changing the words until it feels right. A powerful, effective affirmation may bring up some resistance from the part of you that fears change, but that will be most likely dissolved when you work with it, and if not, choose another one that feels more comfortable. My dear soul sister, I love her to death, and she actually lives here in Washington, and she even caught me doing this when I was in Texas. She's like, change your language, and change your language. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll change my language. Instead of saying, I hope, or something happens, or I want something to happen, it's like, change that verbiage to like, I will. This will happen. You know, that's like the whole thing of like kind of creating the dream boards and stuff. And we'll go into dream boards later on. I think we might just do a dream board together. Who knows? So, the second card was make a contribution to the world. I make a contribution just to being myself. People often wonder what they are going to be when they grow up. What is what they're going to do? What is their true purpose? Each of us has a true purpose. Everybody has a purpose, sorry. And each one of us is a unique channel for the universe. When we follow our inner truth, life is creative and transformational. We make contribution to the world just as being ourselves in every moment. That's what this card was talking about here. What is your contributions that you're doing for yourself? Are you taking time out for yourself? I know as we get busy and busy and busy in life, we kind of forget to take care of ourselves, our own needs. And believe it or not, when we take care of our own needs, we actually take care of needs of others. So, for an example, when it's talking about here, people often wonder what they can do, what they want to be when they grow up. So what is your dreams? What is your aspirations that you have? Each one of us has our own true purpose. And I think in life, we have a tendency to sit there and go, oh, I'm doing this job, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, but I really want to do this over here, but they don't take that chance, and they don't take that scary leap of faith. And I'm not telling you to, like, quit your job tomorrow and start up whatever you've had going on in on your dream board. I mean, don't do that. I mean, seriously, don't do that. But you can do that as well if you have everything in place in order to do that. For an example, moving up here to Washington, my husband and I did a huge leap of faith. My husband was very unhappy in his job, and after 18 years, and we were getting pay cut after pay cut after pay cut, and we just couldn't afford our house anymore, and I was working a part-time job, and I was doing freelance makeup artistry, but I have some health issues that I deal with every single day, and I can't stand for a long time. I have neurological issues, and I have calcium issues, but that's a video for another day. Anyways, make a long story short, my husband and I were very unhappy with where we were at. We felt stagnant. We felt like we were just hitting a bridge to nowhere. So we knew we had a little bit of money in our 401k, which we had basically depleted because we were having issues with moving back from Germany. But we knew we had enough to make the move, at least find a new job. And we put things in place. He quit his job. He cashed out his 401k. We put everything in place. We moved out here to Washington, and it's not like we didn't know anybody out here in Washington. Like I said, my soul sister lives here in Washington as well. We started looking for jobs, and it just, things just started falling into place. And honestly, we trusted the universe, and we trusted it up to the prayer. We trusted it up to our belief system that everything will work out. This is the plan that the universe wanted for us, because all the signs were leading to what the universe wanted us to do. We had literally little signs from the universe that were coming into play when we were in Texas, and it's like, okay, I'm listening, universe, all right, smack me on the head a little bit more. And we knew that it was time for us to move to Washington. So we were taking care of ourselves, but we also made a contribution to others, because we realized that this was not where we needed to be, and we needed to be in a place that suited not only our needs but others' needs, because we know that we are going to make a difference in other people's lives, even though we are moving on. And you're probably going, what do you mean by making a difference in other people's lives for taking care of your own? We all have a purpose. Back to that one card, we all have a purpose that we as individuals come into people's lives, and we make a difference in those people's lives. And then, we have our friendships, and then we move on, and then we have friendships with others. And I think those friendships are contributions that we make to other people. So I guess that's what I'm kind of trying to convey in that aspect. Now, I apologize if it seems like I'm like going around in like weird random speech, because when I get messages from Spirit, I'm trying to convey it, especially on something like this where it's a video for non-specific people. I get messages that sit there and go, well, you need to say this in order for somebody else to get it. So I apologize if it seems like kind of a little scattered, because I know for me, when I'm thinking about what I'm saying, I'm like, well, that's really scattered, but somebody isn't going to understand what I'm talking about. So, the next one that we were talking about is abundance grows through each of us. And the more I receive, the more others are able to receive, because human nature is basically loving. Many of us will not allow ourselves to have what we want as long as we believe what we might be depriving others in order to do so. We have to understand in the deep way that living and fulfilling a life contributes to the general state of human happiness and inspires and supports others to create more happiness for themselves. I hadn't even read this card yet, and that actually was going and conveying with what I was saying before on the other two cards. The more that you receive to yourself, you're going to receive to others. So, okay, when you are driving down the road, and the road of life, you're driving in your auto, and you might have a little hoopty, or you might have something, a really, really nice car, but you have what you have, and that's what life has given you. And you're driving down the road, and you're like, okay, I'm dealing with the traffic, and then all of a sudden your gas light comes on, and you're like, oh crap, I need to go get gas. So you have to sit there and you're like, okay, where's the nearest exit for me to go and get fuel to fuel up, and so I can continue on to my path on the road. And sometimes when you have to go and fuel up, you might not just have enough cash to fill your tank completely. You only might have a couple of bucks in order to get to your destination. That's okay. You're still putting that couple of bucks in order to go on to your next destination. And then it's the cycle that kind of happens along. And a lot of times it gets monotonous, so you're like, okay, I'm really tired of driving down this road. I only have $2 here to fill my gas tank, or I have $10 to fill my gas tank, or, oh great, I'm driving a really nice car and everything is coming towards me and everything is provided for me. But what is your happiness level? Because those that have like a lot can be very unhappy, and those that have nothing can be very happy. So what is your comfort level of filling up your own gas tank, if that makes any sense in what I'm trying to convey here? Because you are literally, you as your spirit is your own auto, and everything that you do around you is filling up that gas tank. And I guess that's what I'm supposed to explain it, is that you're an auto, and you choose your mode of transportation. You can be a bicycle, you can be a motorcycle, you can be anything that you want to be, but in order to get to point A to point B, you have to fuel yourself. If you're riding a bike, you have to eat in order to be able to go further. You have to take breaks in order to go further. So I guess that's the message I'm trying to convey. This is like turning out to be the most random video. I really had no clue what I was going to speak about, and I'm talking about the path of life, and it's so interesting how spirit works at times, because everybody's been dealing with these issues of fear. The people, at least I've been around, and people I've been working with, they've been dealing with a lot of fear that's coming in their life, and they're like, they don't know how to get out of it, and it's like their car is basically stalled, and it's like, okay, how do I get out of this? So you either gotta get out of the car and push it on, or you gotta do what you gotta do. But in order to do that, you gotta fuel yourself. So that's my little card reading for the day, and I guess that was the message for the day, is whatever your path may be, whatever your religion may be, and that's another thing I just wanted to explain. I do not discriminate on any religions or any paths. I consider myself very spiritual, so I just am who I am, and I wish everyone a blessed day and lots of love and light, and I'm hoping to try to do a video at least every Friday, just depending upon my schedule, because I do have some medical appointments as well, but I'll try to do a video every week. But anyways, love and light.